Yes.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. What about you?
I'm doing great.
Okay.
Didn't see Derek and Derek and Jamal.
Jamal. Yeah.
Are they out?
Jamal had an early session.
Oh, okay.
Early session, yeah, with a fitness coach, and then Derek the same continues with the rehab process.
So they're questionable. They out? What for?
Probably both are out. Yeah.
Both are okay.
Yeah.
Columbus beat Monterrey last night to advance to the CONCACAF Champions.
They did?
Whatever. You know they did. I know you were probably watching that game. You probably watched it twice already.
No.
But what is Columbus doing so well that's enabled it to have this sustained success for the past few years?
Well, they have a lot of good things. I think their style is really good. They have good players. I think they understand that having the ball and managing spaces and creating spaces for others, is productive, and I think they do that very well. I think their build-up is very good, so then it's really difficult to press them. And with the skillful players they have in behind, if you don't press them correctly or coordinatedly, the players in behind kill you. So then it's a very good team.
I mean, you've played them 4 consecutive times, the end last season and the first game of this season. Are they a hard team to scout, a hard team to prepare for?
Not a hard team to scout because they are very consistent on how they play. They don't change too much. There are little things they do in their build-ups based on how the opponents press them. They adjust really well. So they build with back 3 and 2, but at times they do kind of an L, and then Amundsen as a left back goes a bit higher, and then Moreira comes closer to the sweeper. Or at times they build 3 and 3-4, and then they fix the back lines with 4 players. At times the wing back goes higher. At times the wing back comes inside. But it's based on how I think it's a bit based on how the opponent structure is pressing them.
Yeah.
So they adjust really well to that. So again, it's not really difficult to scout because by now we know them really well. But it's difficult to play against them because of that, because they are very dominant in that style.
You're about to face a back 5 in Minnesota. It's a back line number that a lot of teams have trouble with, but what are y'all working on to try to break that down?
Well, a couple movements, of course. I think Minnesota, under the new manager, they have used, who I know, by the way, is a great guy, great coach. And I think they have used a couple different shapes. 4-2-3-1 was the first one that I think they've been very consistent since last couple years. But then they shift to back 5. 5-2-3, 5-3-2. The last game they came with 2 different shapes, one in the first half, one in the second half. Depends of the availability of players. The new Korean kid, I don't want to mispronounce his name, so he's back. They might have a couple absences there. Hassan Dodson might be out, and then the center back Kevin Arriaga could be out also. So I think there are some questions in their lineup, but we have watched all the games, and then we are prepared tactically for whatever lineup and structure they present. So with that saying, I think it's about within our principles and how we play, how we can unbalance their back line, and how we can make sure that we create enough chances to have, to put our attacking players in front of the goal many times. So we are, specifically today, we worked a lot on that.
I wanted to ask about rest defense against teams that use wingbacks or a back 5. Against Cincinnati, it seemed like there were moments where giveaways led to opportunities to switch the ball out wide and people in a whole lot of space. What are the issues there, and how do you correct it?
I think it depends on how they play the back 5s. For example, Columbus, Cincinnati, there are 2 teams that are playing, even Toronto, they are playing with 2 almost wingers as wingbacks, and then they are more aggressive. So it's almost like a back 3 on the back, and then on the shift over they finish with a back 4. But on the strong side of the ball, the wing back is so high, and at times the opposite side wing back is half and half. So then the transition moments are dangerous against teams that the back 5 is a back 5 and they defend like back 5. At times there's a lot of space for the wing backs to to run forward to create a transition moment. So it depends on how they play. Certainly Rosales, the left wing back, it can be one that can be dangerous in that transition moment. At times in certain games he goes half and half, especially against Charlotte. I watched a couple of clips where he was too aggressive, and at times he looked almost 4, and he as a 4 midfielder, 4-4-1-1 kind of, but it's because he's aggressive in there, and then in transition on the ball he's pretty good. So we are protected on that. I think we work on that, but the rest in attack, it can be different ways. At times this transition moment is for me the awareness of where is the danger, where are the spaces, and but at the same time how we can make the field even more compact. So as many other coaches say, like, defending is about a space. It's about, if I'm 1v1 against someone fast in big space, I'm going to lose. But if I'm 1v1 against a guy that is 5-6 yards around me, I can have some chance to beat him because I'm not exposed. So that's kind of the idea of when we are in the active defending, how we can make sure that the field is a bit shorter because we are compact as a team. So a lot of that comes with training and ideas on who's going to be the danger in transition.
Y'all are allowing more shots this year, but the quality of those shots based on the XG is way down. Can you explain why that is?
Yes, well, we change a little bit on how we are defending, a couple tactical shifts based on the personnel we have, a couple maybe also principal shifts that we did. In the past we've been probably a bit more aggressive in the pressing high, but then we are a little bit more exposed on the back. I think this year one big emphasis has been on the recovery runs, especially the wingers. And if you see in the data, if you check the data, the defensive actions and the distances we're covering at high intensity in the defensive actions is way higher than last year. And that, for me, tells me what I see on the film is correct, that our recovery runs are good, we are compact, maybe in a low block when we are exposed, and then therefore there's more numbers in front of the ball when they are shooting. So actually the number of shots that we're blocking is super high. We're top in the league on that. So that is a good point, but do we really want to continue defending that amount of shots? Maybe not. So that's how we can make little improvements on that, without saying we're the team with less goals in the league. So against. So maybe this is what suits the team, and then in transition we can have it more space. It can be. So those are the little adjustments that we have to make as a team where we want to be, but we are in a good foundation in my opinion, because we are organized, we're compact, we're willing to do the effort, we're willing to sacrifice our bodies in front of the ball to save our goal. So that's great, it's amazing, but let's see if we can do it 20% less than we are doing per game.
Gonzalo, Thiago's his goal and assist numbers are down this year from where they were last year. And of course last year he had some just outrageous goals that you can't really account for that are going to happen. But from your perspective, is there a reason why those might be lesser? Is he playing deeper? Are teams kind of trying to nullify the impact that he can make on a game? Or is there anything you're noticing with his performance, or is it just, are you getting what you want out of him and it's just for whatever reason those goal numbers aren't there?
Well, I would like to say a couple of things, and I don't want this to give Thiago the excuse, but the kid didn't have enough time. He was with the national team the whole time, and he was exposed to a heavy load last year, and then this year he was even more. Since the World Cup, he hasn't had really a good period of time where he can rest, not just physically because he's a machine, he plays every game, but mentally. Is he fresh enough to make good decisions? Is he fresh enough to make the right pass, the right ball? I don't know, it's hard to prove, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that takes a bit on that, and with that saying, the kid is showing a lot of willingness to do the right things. He's chasing and pressing. Probably you have seen how much he's running defensively for the team, how his reactions are way better. And then in attack, I think he's producing very good passes. It's just we're not finishing some of those at times, right? So in the last game, he put a fantastic cross for Daniel and a great save by the goalkeeper. And that could have been another assist. The one he put in New York City to Derek Etienne, and we missed, right? So a couple of those have happened that we're not scoring the passes that he's putting, but he's doing the right things. And at times when he's in front of goal, yes, a couple of the shots he has taken haven't been precise, and yeah, he can improve on that side. But I think he's on the right path to get back to a good production for the team.
Is he frustrated by it? Do you sense that, or do you have to try to keep him kind of level-headed about it all?
I don't see that he's frustrated. I can see a kid that is motivated and willing to do all the right things. And I think people in football, professional football, coaches, and especially soccer players, we have to be specialists at dealing with frustrations. We go through frustrations the whole career. You go through wins, losses, ties. Tying at home is frustrating. Not scoring a goal is frustrating. Missing a penalty is frustrating. Missing a pass in a game is frustrating. How we deal with that every 20 seconds, we're dealing with things that can be frustrating. And the reactions to that is something that we players and coaches, we need to be experts at dealing with that and overcome that frustration. So I think the kid is one of those that deals very well with frustration, with adversity, and you don't see him stressed, you don't see him frustrated very often, and I don't see him frustrated at this moment. I think he understands that, Gigi's back and Gigi can score some goals, and Daniel has scored some goals, and Jamal is scoring some. So we have players that can finish the plays that he makes, and we have a whole attacking group that when he's sharp, when he's in the right mood, in the right vibe, can unbalance anyone. So I think he knows that the time is coming and we're going to have success.
Following up on that, he said he wants to try to go to the Olympics, try to play in Copa America, so they're not getting any time off anytime soon. Have you all thought about just telling him, take this week off, we need you fresh for later in the season?
Yeah, we have to wait, but yeah, we have that in our minds. Maybe for him, maybe for Caleb still, he's another one. So yeah, we're thinking about a few players like that, but the most important thing is he plays against Minnesota, and then after that we will see.
All right.
Yes.
When you have players that come from different backgrounds and speak different languages, what do you guys as coaches do to help with the team bonding and help bring those guys together?
Well, number one is making them feel welcome, and I think the team in general, the players do a great job on that. Starting with the captain, Brad, is so welcoming. He's always looking for everyone and looking at everyone being okay. So the system in general is pretty good. So actually, I don't have to put way more thought on that because the players do a great job on that. The club do a great job on that, whether it's English lessons, whether it's adapting them to the system in America, especially when they come from other continents. First experience in America can be way different. Insurance, cars, rental of the houses, all these things, commute, like no public transportation, like in all the areas like available. So for some of them, especially the guys coming from Europe, can be very different. So we try to do our best as a club to make them feel good and okay with everything off the field, so then they can just think about the on-field situations.
Caleb said he wasn't too discouraged about not having the goals not coming in the last couple of stretch of games, and that he believes they'll eventually come. Do you believe that as well, that you have the talent in place, enough offensive talent, where if you guys keep doing the things that you've been doing, that those goals will come eventually?
Yes, I completely agree with Caleb and with everyone. I think we all see the potential we have. I think we're creating the chances. Eventually, I understand the last 3 games haven't been the results that we wanted, but in the 3 games, we created way more chances than the opponents. And you can say that 2 out of the 3 had been very dominant in the leagues the last couple of years, and they are dominant even now. So I think the performance has been okay. Can be better, yes, but I think it's been okay. In the 3 games, I think we created more expected goals, better chances than the opponents, and we just need to finish a couple of those more, and the story is completely different. Then the confidence will come, and once we start to win a couple of games on a row with some goals, I am sure that we have enough quality to continue with that theme of being an attacking-minded team and a team that can unbalance any opponent. So I think it's a matter of time, and I hope this can start this Saturday.
You mentioned the defensive record. I wanted to ask you about Luis Abram specifically. With Williams out for a long period of time, just how important has it been to have that steady presence of Abram coming off the bench and being in the form that he's in?
No, it's been amazing. I think it's been great. I mean, also saying that Derek was outstanding in the first couple games where he was playing, especially with his leadership and his vocal presence, because yes, physically he's huge, but he's always talking and organizing everyone in front of him, so that's helpful. But in a different way, Abraham is leading the back line with his presence and his actions, and with his pressing, he's being way more aggressive is something that I always ask for him, and he's doing exactly that, especially off the ball. When he's stepping in areas normally he wasn't, and now he's way more aggressive, regaining more balls, blocking a lot more shots this year. His passing is way more aggressive, and so he's making big steps, and so it's been very good to have Luis Abram at this caliber, and I hope he can continue with this type of performances.
How much does it help you to have Abram stepping up, Cobb stepping up, now Morales getting a game and a clean sheet, 5 center backs competing for 2 spots?
Yes, I think it's been great. Kudos to the kids, kudos to the academies too, because 2 of those come from the academies, and the story from Efrain I didn't know. He told me that he's been here since 11 years old, and I saw a couple of the pictures. It's amazing, because those kids, when you are here using the Atlanta badge on your chest for 8-9 years, you are in love with the team, and you play with love and with passion in there, and that's what Efrain did. He played with a lot of love for the club and passion for the club, and we want that. So the kids, the academies, kudos to all the coaches there, because they are at times not highlighted by anyone, but the coaches in the academies are always quiet and always willing to work with 25, 26 players in the afternoons, in the sun, in turf. There's no cameras there watching them, and they do a great job preparing new generations of footballers for everyone here. So kudos to all the academy coaches. They are doing a great job here in Atlanta, and we really appreciate their work. And the reward is having 2 out of the 5 center backs coming from our own academies, and those 2 kids doing amazing. So I hope that can continue.
Is Noah's situations the past 2 games affecting your decision-making process for starting him?
Could be. Let's see. I think right now Estian is very close to be back 100%. I mean, he's back, but it's been a while, so we need him to catch up a little bit, and probably I have the luxury to delay a little bit the decision to bring him back because of how Noah is doing. But then we will see. Let's see how Estian is back and how the spirits start to manifest itself, and then I can start to make decisions. But I think Noah stepping up at this level is just good, because now give us option. At times, do we need a back 5? That can be another option. Derek Williams with Abram, competition there, both making each other better. Noah and Estian making each other better now. Efrain pushing Noah too a little bit. I think it's good. And then I have to make decisions. Yes, only 2 can start at times, and I have to try to pick the best 2 for that game. So characteristics, do I need a tall presence there with Estian against a tall center forward? Do I need a kid that is faster and shorter and good on the ball, or a back 5? Maybe Noah is the answer. The same with Derek and Abram. So I think it's been a good thing to have those 5 center backs in a good caliber.
But him having to come out at halftime 2 games ago, late scratch last week, that's what I was referring to. Is that affecting whether you can start him if you're not sure?
No, I misunderstood the question. I thought the good Noah has been showing.
No. He's been playing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But. So no, because it's not his fault. It's nothing he can do with that. Actually, it's not related one to the other,
right.
And it's just unlucky for the kid. But that doesn't erase all the good actions he have had on the field. So for me, if you don't lose your position on the field, you don't lose it. You have to continue with that. So he's been doing very good.
Okay.
All right, we'll cut it there. Thanks, Gonzalo.
Okay, thank you guys.